Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I make pumpkin rolls. Take a pack of cream cheese and a stick of butter and leave it out on your countertop for about an hour to kind of make it soft. So for the cream filling you'll need a whole pack of cream cheese that you left out to get soft. You do not need a whole stick of butter. Which is still a lot, but put this back in the fridge. Need a teaspoon of vanilla. And 1 cup of powdered sugar, or you can also use just regular sugar. That's just a quarter cup of 3/4, 1 cup. And now I'm just gonna mix this with a hand mixer. Until it's combined. I'm gonna scrape the sides off. Once there's no more powdered sugar, I can go a little faster. Scrape it off again, just so everything gets mixed up and smooth and fluffy. Taste it. And now actually I'm going to put this in the fridge while I'm waiting for the roll to cool off before I can actually stuff it. That looks good. next thing I have to do is prepare a sheet pan. This is a 13 by 18 sheet pan. Prepare that with parchment paper, line it. And I'm just going to make it so the corners are standing up like that. This corner, like that, and this corner. So now that I have this, I'm ready to start mixing up the batter for the sponge cake, for the roll itself. I'm going to set this aside. Big mixing bowl. I'm going to start with the liquid ingredients, which are going to be 3 eggs. The oven is now preset to 375. Next thing I'm gonna do is 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're gonna put 1 cup sugar. Quarter, half, 3/4, 1 cup. Let's clear this off a little bit. For that, and then the next thing I'm going to do is put in the pumpkin. And probably this is an overkill, but I'm going to put it through a ricer. You can actually just smash it with a fork even. You need 2/3 cup of pumpkin puree. pumpkin is a little bit fibrous, so it's harder to smash it than potatoes. That's it. I'm gonna mix this up with the pumpkin. As I mentioned, you can substitute the pumpkin puree with applesauce or a nice ripe banana. So the next thing I'm gonna put in is the dry ingredients. I'm not gonna put a separate bowl or anything like that. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in here and mix it all up in one bowl. So I'm gonna start with the flour. You're gonna need 3/4 cup of flour, 1, 2, 3/4 cup of flour. We need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, it's 1 teaspoon, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. That's about that. A 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, freshly ground. Oh, where did it go? Oh no, I lost my nutmeg. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then we'll mix this up. You don't need to mix it a whole lot, just to make sure everything is, all the dry ingredients are wet. I don't know where my nutmeg went. I did find my nutmeg. That's that. So it's definitely going to be liquidy, as you see it. I'm going to take this batter pour it into the prepared sheet pan. And make sure I spread it out evenly. So all I do is just take a spatula and pull it to the corners. Because the corners tend to kind of stand up, even though I kind of folded them. And it's going to even out a little more as I put it in the oven. I'm going to put this into 375 oven in the middle. And I'm going to cook it between 13 and 15 minutes. When you take it out, you'll see that it's going to be a little bit wet, but not liquidy. So that's the point where you have to catch it before it gets too hard. While I'm waiting for it to bake, I'm going to prepare my landing spot for the sponge, and the means of rolling it up is going to be on a clean tea towel, kitchen towel. And I'm going to take some powdered sugar, and again, you can use a regular sugar if you don't have powdered sugar, or just grind up your sugar, coffee grinder. And dust generously the tea towel all the way to the edge. Based on your size of the sheet pan, just kind of imagine how big it's going to be coming out. And that's going to help us to separate the tea towel from the sponge cake, because it's going to be, as I said, quite moist. So this will prevent it from sticking into the cloth. And also I'm going to prepare some, because this will be for dusting the actual cake as I roll it up as well. So I'll need an extra couple of tablespoons of powdered sugar to do that job once it comes out of the oven. So it's been actually 14 minutes. I cooked it a little longer than usual. As I said, between 13 and 15 minutes is normal. So here's my tray. It's kind of spongy and soft still. So I need to put this down somewhere here. And I'm going to bring it over just with the paper. You can probably leave it in the pan for about a minute or so. And all you do is flip it onto that powdered sugar infused cloth, and then starting from the edge, I will peel the paper as soon as I can. Kind of just pull out the sides. Just like that. And then starting from one of the corners, hopefully I'll be able to gently pull it up. I probably could have taken it out just 30 seconds earlier, because on the edges it's a little bit hard. So now, again, it's still just moist and hot. Just pull it a couple of inches at a time. Don't try to rip the whole thing off, it's not going to come off. And the only place it's really going to be sticky is on the side again, because that's where it gets a little harder, the edges. As you can see in this corner, it got stuck in there. So this part is the trickiest part of the whole thing. Other than that, you see it's pretty easy to just mix, mix, mix. So I have a couple of pieces here that I still have to pull out in here. Sure, there's no more paper, right? So now I'm gonna take my powdered sugar, while it's warm you need to roll it up so it will hold its shape as a roll. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna start from the long end, rolling it up nice and gently, and of course the clot's gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna roll it with the cloth, make it into a sort of a jelly roll, and then twist them on the sides, and I'm gonna just set this aside until it cools off. It's still warm, and again it's very moist. Even the cloth should feel moist. Ready to frost the pumpkin roll. To soften it up a little bit. And unroll this. Turn it this way. Try to make it even, but all the way to the edge. this will be the top of the roll, so I'm not going to go all the way to the edge necessarily because it's going to push out, but pretty close to it. I think that's pretty straight and even. I think it's pretty even. Ta-da! Give this to someone to look. Now I'm just gonna obviously roll it up without the towel. You can cut this and serve it right away, or you can put this in a plastic wrap and cool it a little more and then cut it that way. But I'm gonna cut it now. Just trying to cut it into half. Actually, I need a different knife. I'm gonna just try to cut them about a finger wide. And there it is. I'm gonna have the end of it. I'm just gonna wipe them off as I cut. Wipe the knife. I'm just gonna cut this into two. I don't want to make it too skinny. So I was able to make 8 slices of half and a little bit for the cook. Here is my famous pumpkin roll. Enjoy! See you next time.